Hi, welcome to AFTV. I've got Jason with me. We've just lost to Inter Milan 1-0 here at the San Siro. Jason, I know you're kind of my side when it comes to the format. You enjoy it, but it's not about the performance. Let's talk about the performance and what went wrong for Arsenal, because we were dominant today, really. It's just we didn't get the result, which is a bit of an issue, really.
We were dominant, but not necessarily as dominant as we've been at times over the past couple of years.
Yeah,
and
seasons, yeah.
For me, we are at our most aggressive and we are at our best when we, get players high on the last line. We ask questions of their midfield. We ask questions of their back line.
Is Odegaard not being in there for you something that's massively important for us to be at our, most aggressive, or not?
Yeah.
Because we've done games without him and seemed been fine.
Yes and no, because there's something around fluidity, isn't there? And I think the thing around positional play is that it does function around those players and having those players and getting players in those pockets where they can really hurt teams. And if you've got players like, he gets slated, but you get players like Zinchenko who can feed the ball into players higher up the pitch, can get them on the half turn and actually start running at back lines and asking questions of them.
Were you surprised when he come on?
Zinchenko?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I was, but I mean, we spoke the other day, and I said, fundamentally he's an Arsenal player, and therefore we have to treat him as such. I thought he was quite bright today. I think I think he tried. There's obviously a pecking order, and obviously, like I said, for me, Fred squashness squad freshness is massive. So we need to be able to use our players. And again, the questions around Sterling today, given that he can't play on Sunday, there's an international break coming up. So there's no.
Exactly that. So what is happening with him, really?
It's a super interesting one. I think that Martinelli was okay today.
Some fans were they were quite harsh, I feel like, on Martinelli. It felt like they were trying to scapegoat someone. They said, I don't want to see Martinelli again.
I think there's a question that we have to ask around end product, and I think you can have bright sparks, you can beat your man, you can twist, you can get decent enough crosses in the box, but fundamentally, as a wide man, as centre forwards, as attackers, you're judged on numbers, and therefore at the minute the numbers aren't really adding up, and that's partly his fault, partly not his fault. Like I said, I think there's like a lack of fluidity. We're not playing with the aggressiveness that we normally play with. Normally we stifle teams, we pin them in, we play nice and aggressive. When they win, if a cross comes in and they win the first ball, we've got 2-3 players on the edge of the box winning the second ball, and you're pinning them in, and over time it grinds teams down, and we're not able to do that at the minute.
Have you seen it at all this season from Arsenal?
Not as I would like, not as I would fully expect it. I mean, it's super interesting because I look at Moreno and again he's getting a lot of pelters, but I actually ask myself the question of because I kind of see him playing that Xhaka role that Xhaka played in that last season where he was absolutely flying for us. In that kind of left half space, being fed the ball, and we're not really seeing it. And there has been a slight change in the dynamic to kind of compensate for not having Odegaard. But what it's done is it's made us a little bit ploddy, and that's the concern. The concern is that the intensity that I would expect us to play with, the aggressiveness I would expect us to play with, we're not seeing, and therefore you are overly reliant on a moment of magic from Saka, a set piece, a 1-year return and a shot, and he almost had one. So again, you do need that sense of that spark of creativity, that sense of unpredictability. Positional play is absolutely brilliant, but sometimes you need just a player that can unlock a defence with a moment of magic that you don't necessarily expect. Conceding the goal when we conceded it was the worst possible time to concede it. We've all played FIFA and conceded a goal, and then you go to kick off and the first kick, and like the controller's close to going through the telly, and that's what it kind of felt like a little bit today when that happened. Because as soon as but again, we're talking fine margins. When you concede a free kick in your half, you've got to see it through to the half. Everyone's got to kind of batten the hatches and kind of go, we don't concede, we get in at half time. You get in at half time, probably a different game. They come out the second half, they're a little bit they know they can kill the game. They killed the game excellently. Not going to talk about the referee, not going to talk about the format. We were not good enough today, and questions need to be asked of Arteta in terms of some of the subs that happened. I think Jesus was, he came on and he was a bright spark. But one of the things, going back to the Odegaard role, is it's not just what he gives us on the ball; it's what he gives us off the ball.
Yeah.
So one of his roles is to lead the press. And if he's not leading the press with the same intensity, Trossard doesn't play with the same intensity that Odegaard does. And therefore you kind of lose that sense off the ball. Where again, you can pin teams and you can kind of push them back, and then you can be a bit more aggressive with your press, because you don't get that from Trossard. So it's frustrating.
It's a frustrating one, but thank you, Jason.